we doing tonight? It is Tuesday night, the 25th, and of course, it is day 457 here on the Land Tamer stream. Hope all are well. I'm 110 days from my first lab attempt. So we're getting down to it. Quick vlog tonight, of course. Gotta talk about this. The Falcon Heavy launch was last night. It was awesome. I did stay up for it, and I labbed really late because the scheduled launch time was, I believe it was 11:30 p.m. And then they delayed it 3 additional hours. So they're like, we're going to launch at 2:30 a.m. And I'm thinking, do I stay up? I've already stayed up this late, and I decided to stay up. So I end up labbing a lot, which is cool. Or I say labbing. I did some labbing. I studied the INE workbook, which is good. I made some good progress, so I'm going to share some of that with you this evening. I got through all of my flashcards, which is good. Had some flashcard catch up to do, and made a bunch of new flashcards based on this snmp stuff, because I'm in system management, of course, and so yeah, I'll just kind of review that real quick. I'm trying to get through the system management section this week, and I got some good labs, or a good portion of it done last night and this morning. I think as of yesterday, I was reviewing terminal line settings, so I got through 4 of these, which is snmp v2, server access control, traps and informs, and then CPU and memory thresholds. So that was good. That was the first part of this snmp section. There are 3 more to do around snmp, and these are v3, I believe. There's a lot of detail here. Like, I get it in principle. I still struggle a little bit with the terminology, the syntax. I've done this kind of thing before in production, obviously in a lot of networks use snmp3, snmp v3 for network monitoring tools in your network, especially working in enterprise. So, but in terms of how does version 2 work versus version 3, and I don't know anyone using version 2. I'm hoping that, this has been around a while. I'm hoping that you're using version 3 if you're using it, because of the security. Much better in v3 than in v2. So I'd assume a lot of you are. So learning the v2 part, a little bit to that. So I made a bunch of flashcards. I've already been through a number of my flashcards today, and I got a good mix today. It's pretty cool. We'll go pull those up. I had a question in the Discord, by the way. This is a PPP related question, PPPoE. Yeah, so I've already gone through a lot for today. I think I had over 30 something. So tonight I'll be going back over those, reviewing those, and plowing into the snmp v3. I've already started this lesson, or this lab, and there's some detail in here. Man, it's just, I'm gonna have to just repeat to really get this. And I just remember in preparing for the written, the boson would ask you questions. The boson practice exam would ask you these tricky things about, you've got the snmp-server command, and it had a string of different characters on there, and it would ask you, what is this doing? And it would name some things weird, like it would name where the community string was for version 2, it would say views, or it would use some other syntax like that, and it was kind of sneaky. But anyway, it's important to know how that command structure works. So you've got snmp, you've got communities, you've got users, you've got informs, traps, views. So there's a good bit to it. I'm going to continue to go through it. It's interesting that probably a fourth or more, a third maybe, of the system management part of the workbook for INE is snmp. Surprising amount. So anyway, that's where I am. I also used networklessons.com to kind of review some snmp material last night and practice it. and really get an understanding. I also observed the, now this is interesting. What I noticed about snmp and the command, so we'll go to our Cisco full menu. 15.6 I think is viral images. I mean, it doesn't matter, 15.6, 15.3. If you go to command references and you look at the snmp, so you think, okay, here's my list of all the command references that I can use without having to search. Like, okay, there'll be one on snmp because there's a lot of snmp commands, a lot of snmp trap commands. And it's, oh, it is here. I did not see this yesterday. There are no configuration guides. That's what it was. Okay, so they are here. Yeah, I remember going to master index list and then finding this, but it's here. It's just under Cisco iOS snmp under network management. Okay. Yeah, I remember too looking under configuration guides, and yeah, I did not find anything under here. So that's when I went to network lessons. There's system memory. I mean, it's probably embedded in some of these topics. Okay, network management configuration library. Here we go, snmp. There's one here. It's not off the main screen. Did I look at this article? I did. I just looked at probably a different code version. But yeah, there is a good bit of useful information in here, actually. So anyway, good stuff. That's what I've got going on Tuesday night. Not much else to talk about. We have been active there in the Discord. I presented what I'm going to try to do in the Discord once a day. Something I used to do here in the vlog, but I try to at least post any of the interesting kind of challenging flashcards that I have that I come across each night. I'm copy pasting those in the Discord and just kind of throw those out there. So if you're not signed up yet for the Discord, check it out. There is a routing and switching channel in the Discord, and from time to time we have discussions in there and post interesting tidbits. But that's all I've got tonight, folks. I wish you the best. Sending good bits out there to the universe for all your labs. It's still just Tuesday. It's still early in the week. Plenty of time to get your plans going. And to stay on track. Mr. Spanning Tree, hey, how are you doing, my friend? Thanks for hanging out in the chat and saying hello. You take it easy yourself. Let's hit those exams, exam prep, and let's get her done. Thanks so much, folks. We shall see you back in the stream tomorrow night. And hopefully tomorrow night we'll have, SpaceX did not release any, this is an old photo. They didn't release any photos yet for the launch. You can still watch, the launch today, which I'll probably rewatch it this week. But anyway, tomorrow we'll have a change. When are you planning for a long stream? Good question, Mr. Spanning Tree. If I do a long stream, it will be like a marathon sort of labbing. So when I don't foresee doing a lot of long streams before the exam, except for some vacation days. So I'm going to be taking some vacation days, and on those days, I'll do some long labs, but I will actually stream them, right? Because it'll be a little more chill, and so I'm probably going to take some blocks of like 2 or 3 days here and there during the week, and or like a Monday or a Friday or something like that, or after a holiday. We got July 4th coming up, which is, I think, is a Thursday. So maybe like on that Friday. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and say, let's look at the calendar. Let me look at the calendar. So next week is a week from this Thursday, which is July 4th. Holiday here. And then we do not have the day off the 5th. So the 5th might be the next day for long streams. You could take like a case study all in one lab during the weekend. Yes. So what I could do Yeah, I want to practice some. I will need to practice my um, mental acuity and endurance, right? Because 8 hours sitting in front of a lab is draining. So I want to build up my mental acuity for that. And for example, Cisco Live at the end of every day when I was labbing most of the day, it was just so brain fry. My wife sees me sometimes says, "I see smoke coming off the top of your head." um, but I want to build up that tolerance. So why don't we shoot for Friday? I may do it then, which means I need to ask for that day off, which is fine. I need to do that probably tomorrow. Most of my team is going to be off that day. So anyway, yeah, we'll be doing some labbing days like that. But ordinarily, the weekends, I only have 14 weekends left. I need to focus. And what I'm doing is I'm actually labbing on a Windows machine, emulating. I have the same basic keyboard that is used at the labs, and I'll be using 2 monitors instead of like 4 or whatever. And I do have, this is like the nice mouse. Well, for me, it's a cheap mouse, but I bought another like normal mouse with the cord on. I want to emulate as close as I can. I'm using putty where you can't right click the paste. So I'm doing shift insert as a key sequence to paste instead of control V or right click mouse. You can't right click like in the lab, the regular lab, you can right click and select paste. But that just takes too much time. I got to be fast. So I'm using Notepad when I lab. So that's on another computer, not on the streaming computer. But I can stream from that computer. So on like the Friday next, we'll get set up, and that way I could share screens and we can play with that. And I'll probably be booking the INE rack rental labs or using Azure. So anyway, yeah, coming up, and I'll try to remind folks of that in Twitter and Discord before the day comes up, in case you want to hang out, lab a little bit. I'll let everybody know. So, thanks so much for hanging out, though, folks. Let's hit it and put in some good, transmit some good bits on the wire, and we shall see y'all tomorrow night back here on the Land Tamer stream.